Making a film about a family of snowy owls was never going to be easy.
Last week it hit me right here and drew some blood. We have an aggressive pair, and they're going to fledge 4 young, I think.
The Arctic, where they live, is a vast, cold, and inhospitable place.
No wind, lots of mosquitoes.
Each year, it is almost impossible to know where or even if snowy owls will breed. The challenge facing the film crew was immense. The task for cameraman Michael Mayle and director Matt Hamilton was to find and film a snowy owl nest. But where would they start? This year, scientists pointed to the Nunavut region of Arctic Canada as the area for breeding snowy owls. With an Inuit hunting camp as a base, they would at least have somewhere warm to stay while they searched.
Is this water or is this ice?
They traveled the island from top to bottom. Now, late May, the owls should have been nesting. Where were they? There was plenty of prey around, as well as other promising signs. This was a recent ptarmigan kill.
That's a nice owl pellet. There's no owl here right now. If you look at the rock, there's a lot of whitewash on it.
Snowy owls had definitely been here, but must have moved on. Where would the crew go next? They would have to think quickly, as the sea ice was melting. They couldn't risk getting stuck on an island with no owls to film. All of a sudden, they were given a lead. A scientist, way off in Alaska, had found a snowy owl nest. There was no choice. They had to pack up and get there as quickly as possible.
If at first you don't find snowy owls, try again.
The sea ice around the island was melting rapidly. Without boats, this was their only chance to leave. Adding to that pressure was the fact that the owl nest found in Alaska would soon have young. The long journey to get there was proving increasingly dangerous, but they couldn't turn back. There were moments, however, when it seemed safer to return to the island. The ice was desperately thin in parts. With a sled weighed down by heavy filming gear, they were concerned something could go under. That would bring all the filming to a complete stop. While they raced to get to the owls in Alaska, Dr. Denver Holt was preparing for their arrival. He knew the crew would need to move quickly, as the owlets were likely to hatch very soon. This was news they did not want to hear. Bad weather meant their flights were delayed for days, when every day now counted and the pressure was showing. Finally, a week later, the crew was in Alaska. It turned out they were incredibly lucky to have any breeding owls at all.
This is a low year, but it's better than the past 2 years. It was 0 the year before this, 0 the year before that, 35 the year before that.
But there was another shock in store for Michael and Matt. The nesting pair Denver had found was unusually aggressive.
No, you don't get scared, but you just kind of, you got to be heads up. I've been hit enough that just got to make sure you don't get hit in the face and, that aside, you don't get scared. Last week it hit me right here and drew some blood, and yesterday it hit me here. So we have an aggressive pair, and they're going to fledge 4 young, I think.
They had to set up the hide a long way back in order not to disturb them or get hit by the owls themselves. It was a huge relief to start filming. This was what the crew had set out to get. They had made it just in the nick of time. The owlets were hatching. Over the next few weeks, they filmed around the clock to keep up with the drama unfolding at the nest. It was a challenging year for the owls, and eventually, the youngest owlet succumbed to cold and hunger. The crew was witnessing astonishing behavior. Though it wasn't just the owls having a tough time, filming had challenges of its own. As the summer progressed and temperatures rose, both the owls and the crew were plagued by mosquitoes.
No wind, lots of mosquitoes.
They just got worse and worse. Adding to that frustration was the fact that the owlets could now move on foot. And move they did. It became a daily task to know where they might be found next. The crew needed to be able to follow the owlets and their parents on the move. To do that, they would need to build a hide that could move with them. They could now follow the owls across this barren landscape without disturbing them. This resulted in them observing and filming things that had never been seen before. For Michael and Matt, seeing the owls swim across the river was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. They were also lucky enough to capture it on camera. All their hard work had paid off. They had now caught something truly special, something that highlighted just how extraordinary these snowy owls really are.